The surface finish on this table is very nice. Grizzly calls it a precision ground surface. I picked the saw up at the Grizzly warehouse and I was able to see this table side by side with the G0771, and just under the fluorescent lights of the showroom you could tell that the surface finish of this table was much finer than the G0691. Grizzly sells this as a hybrid saw. Now they do say that the trunnions are cabinet mounted. I'm not 100% sure that's 100% accurate. As you can see, we've got trunnions. Well, there you go. The front trunnion there is attached to the cabinet, as is the rear trunnion just under the table. So, and there you go. There's the motor. 2 horsepower motor, 120, 240. It's hooked up to 120 now. I plan on switching it over to 240 for my shop. The cast iron trunnions and blade shroud, lifting mechanisms, etc. appear to be sufficiently beefy. And I can't wait to get this thing fired up and find out how much vibration there actually is. doing here is the cord to the saw is too short for my needs. So I went to the hardware store and got this SOW cable, this type of cable that you use to make extension cords. It's waterproof. I bought this in 12 gauge. The cord that comes with the saw is 14 gauge. I figured I better upsize the gauge just a little bit since I'm making a longer run. I'll terminate it with a 220 plug, and I bought a better strain relief for the back side because it's probably going to get yanked around on just a little bit more than if the saw was up against the wall or something. So I'll try to get this wired up. I've got to widen the hole on the back of the switch housing. We'll see how all that goes. Alright, this is the first time I'm going to run this saw. A little lock in. Let's do a bump test real quick. Look good? Try it one more time. Very nice. So here's the completed saw. All that's left is to put the back panel on and the dust port. But as you could tell by the test run, the saw is very quiet. I like how there's absolutely no vibration at all. This is my first upgrade from a contractor saw to a more cabinet style saw. I know this is a hybrid, but I can tell the difference already. The assembly was fairly straightforward. There wasn't anything too difficult about it at all. I was able to put it together pretty much in one day. I did spend some time earlier fiddling with it, and I had to stop because I was dealing with the warpage of the table. I wanted to address the warpage. When I was taking this home from the warehouse, I failed to tie it down to the back of my truck. As a result, it came out of the back of my truck. It was very top heavy. For some reason, I didn't even think about tying it down. I had the straps there. And so it landed on the top. It flipped and landed directly on the surface of the top while it was in its packaging. The nice folks at Grizzly took pity on me and took it into the service area and went over it and make sure all the mechanisms worked and everything. But one thing they didn't check, and one thing I didn't think to check, was the flatness of the table. I don't know how bad the table would have been had I not dropped it out of my truck. I was able to remedy, for the most part, the warpage issue. There's just the slightest bow in the table now, but I'd rather have a small bow in the table than a cup. My only complaints so far were the manual, missing the pages, and one thing I also noticed was that this fence is not completely perpendicular to the surface of the table. So what I'm saying is the top of the fence is closer to the blade than the bottom of the fence is, and this will affect my cuts, and it definitely affects the measurement on the front of the slide. And so I'm going to have to figure out a way to fix this. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet. There are screws that hold the extrusion in place, so I might be able to adjust it that way. Worst case scenario, I put just another auxiliary fence attached to the front and have it shimmed out to be perfectly perpendicular to the surface of the table. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I invite you to like and subscribe, and I'm hoping to get more content out as I have projects to do and as I get more tools into my shop. And I look forward to making those videos, and I hope to share those with you as the time goes on. Thanks again for coming by.
Oh.